So the first thing you're going to want to do is to take your pool noodle, measure it to the length that you want, and cut it to that length. Next, you're going to want to carve it into a teardrop shape like this. It's rounded at the bottom and all the way around. It's also tapered at the top to make it easier to sew into the wig head later on. So next I'm just hot gluing my felt to my foam. I'm applying the hot glue to the felt, not the foam, because I don't want to melt it. And then I'm leaving this overhang. This is really important because that's what you're going to sew into the wig head later. So you're just going to continue to hot glue the felt to the foam. It doesn't matter if you get it in one piece. You're covering it up with wefts anyways. This is just to give a surface for the tacky glue to grab onto and to provide more of like a smooth surface overall. This is just a lot of gluing, so we're going to skip ahead a little. See, you can see me sort of Frankensteining the bottom pieces there to get it to fit around the curved bottom. You're definitely going to have to do that. It's impossible to wrap it around in one piece without cutting it into smaller pieces. But it's fine, because you're covering it up later, like I said. Okay, we're just going to skip to the end of the gluing now. I think we've seen enough gluing. Just kidding, more gluing, but tacky glue this time. So now you're going to squirt some tacky glue onto your felt covered noodle, just a section of it at a time, and then you're going to take a small piece of weft. It's really important that it's small, because otherwise, if it's too large, you're not going to be able to get it to lay flat when you wrap it over that rounded bottom. So you're just going to lay it right on top of the glue, and you're going to smooth it out with your finger. Wiping my hand off. This stuff gets everywhere. It's so sticky, but you can rub it off if you don't want to get it. Then you take another piece of weft. It's important that you alternate which end you lay down first so that it looks more natural when you're done, and to also alternate sort of like how long you're putting it up that noodle. So if you're going to put it closer to the base or closer to the top, just alternate the lengths and alternate the orientations of the wefts so that you get a more natural result. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. It's cool. So this is just more footage of me smoothing out the fibers. If you want, you can take some water to help smooth out the more globbier bits. Just give this about 20 to 30 minutes to dry, and then you'll be ready to move on. So next you're going to take some more tacky glue. You're going to glue it on that rounded part. That's the next part where we want the hair to go. And the reason why I didn't do this in all in one go is because you're going to watch me pull the fibers over this glue, and if the glue hadn't been set yet, if it was all wet over that entire section, it would have just slid right off. So you do need to wait until that first section is dry before moving on to this section. See? I'm just going to wrap them right on top of that glue. That you can't really see right now. Yep, and just smoothing it out. There's my little shot glass of glue water. It's labeled, so no one will drink out of it. So you basically wait for that to dry, and then you would repeat the process, and when you're done, you have a completely covered noodle with wefts. You can sort of see all the different places I crossed them over the bottom. So now I have my noodle that's covered in wefts. I'm going to pin it onto where I want it to go on the wig head. You'll see that I have some of the hair pinned out of the way at the top, There's also some hair behind the noodle at the bottom. I'm gonna take a needle and thread like a makeup guru, and I'm gonna sew it into the netting on the wig head. So the reason why I had that overhang of felt at the beginning was for this exact purpose, because if I would have had to sew through foam as well, I don't think it would have happened. So now I have to blend that top layer of hair and the bottom layer of hair with the noodle so that it looks continuous. So to do that, I'm taking tacky glue and I'm gluing all over that nice smoothing job that I did earlier. You kind of have to be careful that it doesn't get caught on your fibers. And I'm doing this in small sections as well, so I'm doing that straight line first, and taking just a small section of the top layer of hair. Let me pin that back. Taking a small section, and I am laying it over that line of glue. Slowly, slowly. I'm laying it over that layer of glue. So after letting the first layer dry, I am just continuing to glue that top layer and bottom layer of hair around the noodle, and then I'm also going to be gluing the bottom rounded part and sort of curling the edges under or trimming them if they won't lay flat. So this is what it looks like when it's done. It's really hard to glue the back layer of the noodles the further you get back around the head, so I just trim them to be shorter than the noodles and just let them be.